Okay, so today's video is about football and rugby and why they're good for self-protection. Most people don't realise it. Okay, so but I read a lot of forums on sort of martial arts. What's good and what's bad, things like that. And there's this guy that comments a lot on some forums on the internet. And he's been a martial artist for most of his life, and he's been on the doors for 33 years, I think. And there was like a comment on one of the forums about, what arts are best for the street, okay? And he put on there, well, from working, I think, East End on the doors for over 30 years, he said some of the best scrappers he's seen have been football players, okay? Now, because of their fieriness and just they're quick on their feet, aren't they? Okay, they're just quick in general. So I'm just going to go outside just because Miss might start talking to me whilst I'm on the video. So yeah, he says basically boxers and football players, sort of most common, and they're the ones that like sort of win. And we've seen some really good scrappers that have been football players. Also, just because they got that mentality of being quick and just fiery, and they got that sort of energy in them. Also, rugby players, in my opinion, is good for self-protection. If you think about it, where in the context of, if any of you are watching this in a sort of reasonable boxers, I'm training a bit of boxing. I'm not on about really good, I'm talking about boxers who have been doing it for say 6 months or whatever, here and there. Haven't quite had your first amateur fight yet, just beginners. If you face a good rugby player, who's good at rugby tackles, things like that, do you think you'll be able to create distance, maintain distance with a good rugby player? Or do you think they're just going to take you down and take you to the floor? See what I mean? So most people don't realise this, but football and rugby are good for self-protection, okay? So I would say rugby players, I'd struggle with rugby players. I'd probably, it's harder to hit when you're on the floor. It's easy to say, oh yeah, as they take you down, put them in a choke position, dig them in the ribs. But what if they're stood up just as you hit the floor, and they start kicking, and that's what I said. It's good to be good at grappling as well as striking. In my last video I was explaining why. You might want to watch that. But yeah, this doorman sort of said what he mostly sees is he sees some really good scrappers who have been football players, like really good scrappers. They're sort of quick on their feet, aren't they? And they've got that sort of buzz in them. Boxers and the odd wrestlers. So yeah, that's what he's mainly seen. And a lot of kicks. I wouldn't use kicks unless you go really low and are really good in fights, because they often get caught, okay? All you've got to do is smack a shin. If you've got a kick coming, I would just hit the shin as hard as I can, it's just to win. So although sort of Muay Thai kickboxing's really, really good for the street, in my opinion, a lot of it you see, wow, this doorman sees this people mainly just use their hands, okay? So it's mainly boxers, and you see the grapples here and there. A lot, yeah, in my opinion, you see a lot of people grapple in fights. So yeah, so that's why football and rugby are really good for learning self-protection, okay? Most people don't even realise it. So it just gives you that confidence. And as I say, if you face a decent rugby player and they're coming at you fast, okay, and they're really big and strong, they take you down, and you don't have time to grab them if you're not that good at grappling. It's very hard for a lot of boxers, okay? Think about it. So if you've got a friend and you're okay at boxing, been doing it for say 6 months, maybe 12 months even, and you both put on headgear and some gloves, try it. See who goes to the floor first, and you know. So yeah, that's why rugby's good for self-protection. And these football players have got it, you know, they're wired to be aggressive, okay, when need be. That's why this doorman sees, you know, football is one of the best self-protections out there. We've seen a lot of good scrappers being on the doors over the years that have been, a lot of them have been football players, okay, young football players. So yeah, it's just a video on why football and rugby are good for self-protection if you like them, you know. So yeah, that's the video for today. If you like the video, give that a thumbs up, a good old wallop, okay, and if you don't, just put the thumbs down. Thanks for watching. Have a great week, everyone. Peace.